Good afternoon. We are here. Welcome back. New time, new day.
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
maybe we can get the market to pivot today. It's not a
Hopefully.
Monday slash Tuesday. It's a Thursday, but we could use a pivot. How's it going?
100%. It's going good. It's going good. Been pretty busy IRL, but
Mm-hmm.
things have been good, I guess, besides the market, which I'm not really worried about it. Just more opportunity. So,
Right? Yeah, I think generally speaking, that's I think probably the appropriate take at the moment. There's some macro things going on that obviously has got people a little bit shook.
yeah.
Um, we get overall things flushing out, and that's kind of the result of it. But I think as we zoom out, there's still a lot there that is looking strong and will be interesting. So yeah, let's I guess get into the slides and
Let's do it.
take a look at how things are going. So yeah, over the last week ish, this is kind of a combination of slides from Tuesday slash more recently. But as we look at it, I think actually, in fact, since Tuesday, Bitcoin has gotten down as low as 82K. Alts majors overall a bit of a pullback crash. You know, it's lots of kind of different catalysts to it. I think the primary catalyst, the initial catalyst, was the fact that Bybit was hacked, 1.5 billion. That itself wasn't too significant, but I think it was a bit of a forced liquidation kind of event that had taken place through the exchanges, selling, causing liquidations. Bitcoin was really stable at first, but then this flush out overall, and then they broke the key support at 90K, and then you get this kind of washout overall, and then also tariffs continue to be a looming threat. Last time it was kind of a nothing scenario for the Canada Mexico side of things, but now we got the EU involved and Canada back on, and date's been fluctuating. March 4th, I think, but then it might be April, and it's a negotiation tactic. So wouldn't be surprised if it's a nothing scenario. But at the same time, if it does kind of come through, then it is going to cause kind of more of a washout challenge in some of these locations. On the positive side, though, SEC has been dropping most of their cases, at least against some of the big organizations, Coinbase, Robinhood, etc.
I
And
saw
then they
that.
also came out recently in the last hour or two saying that meme coins are not a security, which is also positive. But then I think there's also another note as well that president and or family cannot do anything, drop a token or anything like that as well. So kind of a halt to any further Trump activity. AI market cap up 17% in the last 24 hours, up to 7.4. So seeing a bit of a rebound. It got as low as about 5 billion. NFTs fairly flat, fairly low on volume. Interestingly enough, some of the leaders over the last 24 hours, one from each chain. So OMB recently did a mint expansion for the Black Eyes. I don't know if that's sold out or not. I didn't quite have enough time to dig, but they are up 3% post that. They did a team did a sweep, etc. But a good raise for them, expanding the art, etc. Um, that I think I don't know if that's the last one for them for colors. I think so, unless there's something like yellow eyes or something like that. Um, but there's that. Little Pudgies up 4.2%, but really roughly where they've been over the last couple of weeks, just at this one ETH mark. Mad Lads up 4.3% on the sold side. So one from each, up a few percent across the board. Meme coins, not a lot so far. I did a lot of dig. I expected to see more on the positive side of things, but Doge up 2%, but down 18% in the week. FAI, AI agent, meme coin, up 11%, down 37% on the week. Unicorn Fart Dust, kind of the lone dual winner, at least on the list that I was checking. up 18.5% in 24 hours, up 9% on the 7 days, up to 60 million. So up a bit from its lows of I think 30, roughly around 30 mil. So almost a 2x at this point. And in the last little bit, prediction markets. This has been a wild swing over the last little bit. So Tuesday from the previous week, it was down 22% odds. I think it was roughly about. I think it was as high as about something like 40% on the 110% or 110K probability for March. It is now down to 11%, minus 8% over the last couple of days. 80K is now up to 68%. As well, up 20% and then up 17% over the last couple of days. So, big swing in expectations and sentiment. I'm not sure if we see that 80K. We're at a level that could hold right now. And I'll let you. I'll actually get your screen share up there. But I'm gonna pause. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's. I feel like it's all moving off of sentiment. Nobody, I don't know, like none of this stuff really affects the market in reality. I guess, but just besides the sentiment to everything. But yeah, I mean, I would like to see us hold this, 82 like 5 level here.
Mm-hmm. It's right.
Um,
It's right in the daily 200 moving average right now. It's right in
okay,
between the two, the EMA and SMA.
and this is the
So it
weekly.
does provide a bit of support. The weekly, yeah, the weekly kind of. What is that? What is that previous up candle there that it could kind of
This here.
know prior when we did the big run? So if you look across, yeah, this one, right? What's that break in there between those two?
Um,
81,
yeah, 80 like
which is, yeah.
84.31.
I mean, we didn't quite get to that range, but um,
Let's
yeah.
look
I
on
mean, the weekly looks a little less great. I know the daily doesn't look
doesn't look horrible.
just horrible, but you're
Guess we
also
just
kind of
switched
caught in
over to a
between.
new candle
Yeah.
too. So I mean, in reality, we could make a retest up at this level and continue down.
Hmm. And
Um,
so that's based on the fib levels that gives you that range.
yeah, yeah, and this is, I mean, even if I delete all this here, which I'll go ahead and do that because it's kind of done now. But like, this was where buyers were showing up constantly for
Hmm.
since
Yeah, that
since
was our
November.
that was our level, right?
So do we come back up here? Maybe some of those guys break even, take profit, not even really take profits, but just break even. Do we retest this level, continue down? Could see us retest, bounce back here, and go up. So um, I don't really see us coming down to these 75K levels. But with the sentiment, I guess it's a little possible if people just continue to sell and I don't know lose their bags. I'm holding even if we looking to go back down towards like this 60,
Yeah,
70 range.
70K isn't necessarily that bad in terms of an overall retracement, right?
Right.
Um, so in the scheme of things, I mean, yeah, it feels pretty rough in the moment,
But
but
but I do like, how it flushed pretty much all this liquidity out right here.
hmm,
There was a lot of built up. I'll even draw like a box of what I would consider where a lot of liquidity was sitting
yeah,
and just pretty much wiped it out. So that's good. Kind of get a reset.
hmm,
And we whipped right down to this 61.8% retracement level. Um, and I guess we'll see how the next few days go. I'll take a fib from like here to here, and hopefully we can, break back above 90 to
yes,
92 here. Like I said, that's kind of where it could retest this level and look to go down, but we'll wait till we get to this level to see. If we don't get up there, we probably could see a little bit lower, higher 70s.
hmm.
But just play it by day now. Um, Hopefully this pivotal switch to Thursday is good and we just go boom, but that's not realistic. So
Yeah,
I would like to see us push up to 91K. If we make a retest there and continue down a little bit, maybe we bounce back off of this 87K range again. That would be like the most ideal move, but we know that's not how crypto moves anymore.
hmm,
But I think yeah, it's a decent retracement here. We were kind of quietly looking at this level, I feel like for, you know, this whole time here when we were just stalled out. It was just so slow. Nobody's buying. People are, trying to sell, and then the sellers just completely took over and wiped all those buyers out. Someone's ripping a car by.
Hmm. Yeah, so I'm in the office for this session.
Looks
I
nice out there, or in
it's
there, wherever.
Yeah, I mean it very much feels like spring lately.
Yeah, that's
Feels
for
like
sure.
the weather has really shifted over the last, or really this week.
And that's pretty
Um,
bullish. Hopefully, people decide to buy because it's warm.
hmm. Right.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are. Seems like you kind of agreed with what I was saying here with with the retest up of this, 90K,
Yeah.
91K level. Um,
Yeah, I think I'm definitely hoping for this support level to hold. I'm a little still hesitant that it will, but one more flush out to the high 70s, I think is certainly not um, bad either, right? So that down to the next kind of range there.
yeah,
Um,
this will be that range I'm watching here.
yeah, and then if not, then you're looking at the ability for it to rebound, but usually it's a kind of a quick flush. So it's still kind of um, either way to play, right?
Right.
But a macro isn't necessarily super positive at the moment, given
DCA.
everything that's going on. So it's kind of one of those situations where you don't necessarily want to be selling right here,
Right.
because the chance of a bounce is quite reasonable. If you were to sell, would have been selling up at that higher range there, or when it broke 90K. But at this level, if you're still holding and you kind of want to likely hold some more, and I think you're also right on the sense that this is a good DCA point here as well, where we've gotten a lower range that we haven't seen in a while, and if you kind of upset that you didn't get the 100K or higher, this is not a terrible spot
Right.
to re-enter in here, and
I mean, it's not a point to go all in, but it's also not a point to go all out.
yeah, exactly,
And I
exactly.
just zoomed out a little bit here. It kind of reminds me of this initial move that we had of last year around this time, actually, um, where we stalled out from February all the way to, November of 24. Then we had that first move up, and then we've pretty much been stalled out since there.
Hmm.
And as you can see here, we're bouncing off this 38.2% level for a little bit, eventually started to break below. Then we wick down here a little bit below this 61.8% off of a trend line I have too, kinda, from the whole run. That would be pretty far to come down to that trend
Yeah,
line again,
right.
but um, it reminds me of this range that we were here. It looks similar to me. We were in this range for arguably 252 days. Now we're back up at this level, and we've been here since, 100 days, so not quite as long, but similar chart structure in my opinion.
Hmm.
And we see it recharge up, liquidate these buyers here, and then we start to slowly build back up from there. Because obviously there's still going to be heavy sellers
Yeah,
sitting all in this range now,
yeah.
but we'll see. Time will tell. In my opinion, there's really no statistics or facts behind this. I guess just besides how these seasons have played out in the past. I feel like we have one more run. Statistically, we're supposed to have another green year for Bitcoin, and then next year is supposed to be more of a red year.
Yeah.
Um, and that's just how Bitcoin's performed in the past. Does it change because institutional money's in? I kind of think so, but they're probably going to do everything they can to keep manipulating it oops, to buy at these levels. Now that it's starting to get regulated, they're like, all right,
Hmm.
let's get greedy now.
One bit that I came through is the David Sachs kind of crypto regulation kind of task force, if you will. They were initially expecting something within about 100 days. Now it's expected towards the end of the year. So that's
Okay.
something that is a little less positive. Um, again, on the kind of the you know
I
Federal Reserve kind of side of things.
right. Yeah, and I yeah, I could see it's not just gonna happen tomorrow, right? Like these got to go through a lot of votes, a lot of different rooms, a lot of different people got to see this and think about it. And as we know, our federal government does not, the U.S. federal government does not move fast whatsoever. I did see if I can find it. So the first Solana ETF was listed on DTCC, which is what is DTCC? DTCC. That's kind of hard to say. Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. So I think that's bullish, but I think we pretty much covered Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I guess we can just go to Solana because it's looking pretty bad, and then we'll go over to ETH real quick. Weekly here, I would be taking my fib from this wick to. It's kind of weird because of this wick too, but um, maybe you even take it from way down here too, which I kind of like that. So let me make this look a little cleaner. I think Solana can maybe see $100. Wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but maybe we don't, because like I said, that Solana listing I feel like should be pretty bullish. The ETF thing, bouncing right off this 50% level. You can see I haven't looked at the charts much since it's dumped like this.
Right.
And
Sometimes
that,
that's the best way is
yeah,
to
you
walk
just gotta
away and just
unplug.
yeah.
I know where the structure is. I know that I'm slowly wow, dollar cost averaging back in myself. But this isn't a bad area to do as well for Solana. I wouldn't go all in here because, like I said, we could see
Yeah.
this, $100 range. Maybe it's hard to say we see Solana back at $75, but I might scoop up a heavy bag if we do.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Solana's success right now resides on the fact of where meme coins are. This SEC news, I think, is helpful, but Solana itself really has been pushed because of the activity from meme coins, and I think it's just a bit of time before we get back to um, normalcy there, and
Right?
Solana kind of carries on. Now, Solana isn't just a meme chain;
No,
it's a lot more than that,
it's a
but
competitor to Ethereum,
yeah,
like in so many different ways.
that's where it's seen its success lately, and that's where it's kind of rallied from. But I wouldn't say because memes are struggling, at least on the pump fund kind of side of things, and the overall chain volume doesn't mean it's wrecked, right?
Yeah. No, I like Solana. It's definitely going to be here for the long run, I'd say. I don't think it's going anywhere. Um, and part of this is probably because FTX funds are being sent back, and
Yeah.
also the sentiment does not help at all. So it's been a sharp dip, but again, clears out some buyers, or clears out some buyers here, kind of resets at this range, which we've been at this range a lot too. So I guess I wouldn't be surprised to see it go a little bit lower. But like I said, it's hard to say a $70 Solana is going to be a thing
Hmm.
again. So
What's
I
your what's your thoughts on the unlocks? Do you think that has an impact on Solana as well?
I would assume because people were probably, at the time when FTX crashed, I guess it was let me look up FTX lock funds up. I'm only sharing my trading view screen. So um, November 10th, 2022. So I mean, Solana was pretty low. If people were buying at that range, that's that last little sell out here where Solana crashed, or not Solana, where FTX crashed. And if people were kind of buying at this range, they're up like over, they're up 300%.
Mhm.
So people are definitely taking profits, I'd say. I mean, if I were them, I wouldn't be selling my whole bag, but I'd be getting some money that I had locked up for a while, because that's over 2 years it was locked up for. And it kind of reminds me, see if I'm wrong, but this all-time high here, all-time high went above, kind of reminds me of this initial part where we came for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Broke above here, retested down, made a move back up. Solana looks a little similar in that matter. A little bit more volatile, I'd say, but in a longer time period. And then Ethereum still looking pretty rough. I could say we could probably see it, lower 2000s. But if we hold here like it kind of has been, I'd like to see it hold there too.
Ethereum shows good support here, right? And in a way, Ethereum I think has got most more optimistic on Ethereum versus at least Solana, but
I've seen a lot of people saying
yeah,
it's
outperforming kind of.
yeah
But that support level that it's hit here,
crucial.
yeah, it's an excellent level for it to hold on. What is this? The daily or the weekly?
This
This
is
is
the
the daily.
weekly here.
That's the weekly. Okay.
Yeah. So daily. Oops.
Yeah, the weekly looks really good there. Daily looks
Not too bad, I
also
guess.
pretty all right.
You'd like to definitely see it start
Yeah.
moving back up here, but
Hmm.
hold on, I'm gonna let my dog out.
Yep.
I'll be all right. He was beating at the door. He's like, quit talking about all this red market.
Yeah. Right.
XRP, I mean, looks decent here. Oops. You'd like to see it hold this level. But I don't know. XRP has been on a tear for quite a while. It's definitely slowed down. Maybe we see it come back towards this wick, below $2. And everything's kind of in a similar spot, like where if it holds and is pretty good. But if it drops below
Hmm.
some of these levels, we could see some more red. Ave, I like where it's at. Maybe we come back down to 180. Again, it's looking similar to everything else at this point. This was a strong wick that we came back down to. Looks a little sloppy up here, but oops. Yeah, holding this level here would be good. 200 level. I still think that's a steal for Aave. Uniswap, I heard they got the lawsuit dropped from them as well.
Yes. That was today, right?
Today or yesterday, but um, they dropped Coin. Yeah, I think you said Coinbase. They've been dropping a lot of it.
Hmm.
Consensus as well, which is a like the parent or partner company of MetaMask. Uh,
MetaMask came out with their new credit card today too. Correct?
oh, that's bullish. I don't know when
Yeah.
it's coming out, but I really like that. You can be your own bank. Don't have to. Um, sorry, I'm getting a text message. Don't have to switch to fiat currency every time.
Hmm.
Like usually, typically, if you're secure, you're going to be not keeping your stuff on a centralized exchange and having it on a ledger or a MetaMask even. And every time you want to move it and use it, you gotta, take it to a Coinbase or whatever centralized exchange you're using. Switch it to the stable coin, USDC for Coinbase you have to, and then cash out. And
Hmm.
then it takes 1 to 3 business days, which mine's pretty good. Banks will take money super fast, but if you're sending money out, it'll take 3 days for sure. um, I really like this level for Uniswap. If we come back down to $7, not bad. Um, I mean, coming down to even like $5 would be a steal for Uniswap, but some of these levels I didn't think we'd ever see again, and we're back at these levels, which is not a bad thing. If you're here for the long run, these are the DCA levels you look for. You're not really technically buying up here. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't, but still, you wait for these big dips, and these are the times you want to start slowly trickling back in if
Yeah,
you have anything on the sidelines.
100%.
Chainlink has held this 78.6% level really good at 14,555. Um, I'd like to see it continue to hold there. Again, if we see more red, we could come back down back to this $12 range. Chainlink has some good partnerships. I really like them. Those are pretty much the main coins that I'm focusing on right now. Everything we just looked at. Maker's actually made a comeback.
I was going to say Maker, Sonic, um, Kaido. Some of the
So
ones that are
Maker tends to run before ETH does too.
interesting.
So if we look on this, oops, we look on this weekly here. If you've been holding Maker this whole dip, then you're looking pretty good. um, but yeah, it bounced right off a level I had here, which is a major like monthly level. I think I was doing those purple marks back then for that. And then, I mean, we're continuing back up. We could see some sellers here, but let's go back to let's kind of look and compare this to Ethereum. October of 23 is when we really started to see it move back up. November, so late 23, and then mid 23 is when Maker started
Mhm.
making a run. So a little bit right before this. Let's see, March of 24. Yeah, and then happened May of 24 here with a push back up. All of March. I mean, it did have a good run up in March. More February. And then March it really ran for Maker. But yeah, maybe some sort of an early indicator. I've been seeing a lot of people bringing their eyes back to ETH again. It's I feel like it's one of these XRP scenarios
Mhm.
where we've been, it was in this level for so long, and then
That breakout
people
is just
started to sleep on it.
crazy. Yeah.
This one here,
Hmm.
yeah, unreal. And it's not like it's been known that XRP was on the ISO 222 token
Yeah.
list, and it's been known a lot of these, and all around the same time they all like 5x'd, like 400%, 430% in 4 weeks. That's not too bad. But yeah, that's really all I got for utility alts and main caps. Those are the main ones I focus on because times like this is when everything hits hard. Like dips are hard. Dips are, going to be even more rough towards the altcoins than it is Bitcoin and the main caps. So that's why DCA is king. Um, but yeah, anything else? Any other charts you want me to look? I know Dinksy always talks about Sui, so let me pull that up. Sui, I'd like to see
Sui looks a lot like ETH.
kind of.
No, not ETH. What does it look like? I'm trying to think. Maybe it's just that final weekly candle that it looks similar to.
A little bit like Bitcoin, I guess. Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to see it hold this $2.57 to, $2.20. Let's look on the daily. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it come back down to this, $2.50 range and kind of continuing up from there. One last look at Bitcoin. This daily candle's opening up a little red. I mean, we're only 33 minutes into the new candle, so. But yeah, anything else, Rotes, you want me to pull up or?
No, I think that covers it pretty well. We really going to want to watch to see how Bitcoin plays out here.
Yeah,
If I'm to kind of take a probabilistic kind of guess on here, I think we have more downside um, with Bitcoin,
I wouldn't
and
disagree.
if we see that, then you're hoping for a quick flush and rally kind of scenario more than anything. But it's um, yeah, we'll just kind of have to wait and see how this plays out. If we get a bounce, it's probably a shorter term bounce unless we start to build some support in where we're at right now, because it's kind of in this um, odd range at the moment, and that makes it a little harder to to see, right?
I'm gonna make a big prediction here. I think we go boom, boom, play in this range for a little bit. Maybe we wick down. This is the last all-time high. It'd be pretty bullish to touch that and to continue to run up.
Hmm.
But it's either going to be happen really fast or really painfully slow.
Yeah.
I think let's see, next week around this time, I think we're around this range still. In the during the week, it's possible that we see a wick down to here though. But did you want to look at NFTs or anything else? I know you said they've been pretty
They've been
slow.
quiet. I think for the most part, we're waiting on something like Doodles to possibly launch a token,
Oops.
and get a bit of a rally from there. I don't have the ability to, yeah, perfect, screen share out of the office. My internet does not like to work as well as I'd like, especially on something like Magic Eden that seems to load a little slow. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, so Doodles are one that I'm kind of curious to see where that comes in.
What's
Again,
that
I haven't.
chart site again? Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Good
Actually, I think you sent it in the chat
question.
here.
Is it WGMI? I think.
Let me try. GMI dot like net or dot IO?
.io. I think.
Yeah, it is.
Perfect. Um, so yeah, Doodles maybe some there. I'm a little less positive on the overall outlook of Doodles. Pudgies, I think, are at an interesting level. They're kind of accumulating
Oh
towards
dang.
their lower range, and because they're accumulating towards that lower range and nothing has really changed, I think they're kind of a nice consolidation buy at the moment. But other than that, it's more so waiting to see how things ride out on the macro, crypto, etc. Um, and until we see some kind of positivity there, um, and some kind of catalyst for NFTs, it's it's still kind of quiet season for the most part.
Yeah, and NFTs, I kind of like this chart thinking about the fact that NFTs will usually lag behind a little bit and Maybe Doodles can continue back up. That's a decent retrace there, structure-wise. CryptoPunks have held this level for quite a while. Same with Bored Apes. Let's see what their chart looks like. Keep clicking OpenSea. So, I mean, that chart looks a little rough, I guess. But again, you see that pump, retracement back to this level.
Yeah.
Can we go back up from there? Do we ever see a floor price of, 400K again?
I wouldn't hold my breath, that's for sure.
Right. I you know,
My target range for apes is like 40 ETH, with things kind of the market returning,
yeah. Yeah,
which
that
is a
wouldn't be
far
bad.
cry from where it was at. But I think it's certainly a consolidation range that I would like to see from where it was at past levels.
Mhm. Okay. But yeah, I mean, like you said, NFT is pretty slow. I wouldn't say anything's significantly down. Switch it back over to Magic Eden here. This is the weekly 7-day, last 7 days. I don't know what that is. And this is ETH. I guess maybe I should go to all chains, but I don't really
Yeah,
know much but ETH, so. But Pudgy's leading.
showing stability again, like they're right around that previous 9-10 ETH range. And what are they currently at? Pudgies at the moment?
9 ETH.
Yeah. And so, Pudgies, if you can get them anywhere in that sub 9 is a great ad. Little Pudgies, 0.85, zero point 0.8, same idea. That's that consolidation range that they've been at prior to the token announcement, right? So they were performing well there before any token was actually ever expected. And with that, I think just the general Pudgy ecosystem, gaming, everything that's going on there, I think that they're probably the safest bet um, overall.
Yeah. Yeah, nice, chart-wise looks pretty good too. So, yeah, other than that, Rotes, I don't know, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about anything else, that's up to you.
No, I mean there's some activity on the meme side of things. You're going to want to go flight to quality if you are there, and at a very small portion of everything.
Lottery
Um,
tickets.
yeah, lottery tickets. Yeah, place some of your bets on there. But I, for the most part, am watching for the macro side of it. Even though there's some optimism towards uh, memes getting a bit of a relief bounce. Of course, 80, 90% is kind of what we're seeing retracement wise on most memes, which is wild. So you can certainly get a quick relief bounce on memes, but unless macros looking good and majors are looking good, memes are going to be seeing more downside, right? So and NFTs are somewhat similar. So we're at the mercy of the majors and some of the macro, and we'll kind of ride with that. Stay close to the markets if you're in positions that this is not necessarily the time to exit. Um, it's a little indecisive on the market, so that's where you kind of if you're holding a position and want to exit, like it's very tempting, but you're taking a short term loss here, whereas like a couple of weeks from now we could be back into the 90K range and not be surprised.
If you were thinking about moving any wallets or anything, I know sometimes you wait and put it off till gas fees are low. Now would be the time to make some moves with gas fees being under 1 GUI. Um, if you want to move everything over to MetaMask to get used to that card, that would be the time.
Right.
Which I'm thinking about. Just yeah, I don't know. I really like that card. I know it's been done before, but I'm not using a Coinbase card, so yeah, no, it was a good quick day today, but
Yep.
we'll see you guys next week at same time. Hopefully Dinksy and Tyler can make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Appreciate you jumping on, giving thoughts. Always good to get something in,
yeah, of course. Glad
versus
glad you're
nothing at
able
all.
to. Hope you're
Yeah.
feeling better.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like I'm at the tail end of this sickness. So, yeah,
good.
when I did get sick there, I was in bed for almost 2 straight days,
Yeah, that's tough.
sleeping and just riding it out.
Right.
Just kind of like
Holding
chest
on
kind of
for
thing.
dear life.
Oh, it was something else. So, I got sick prior to the market getting sick, or same time really.
Are you an
So
early indicator?
maybe. So I got to get my health back up to 100% here, so we can really get out of this, which I feel is around the corner. So,
Yeah.
optimism there.
Oh, last quick thing, Pi token is now on markets. I've been mining it for a while. I'm still in the queue to try and get my coins out, but um, I don't know if you've heard of that before.
I have not.
You're able to mine it. There's an app on the phone. I don't know why it's supposed to be on CoinGecko, but it's on Binance and stuff now, I think. But Pi coin had a strong dip, but yeah, well, I can maybe talk about that more next time too. All right.
Sounds good. I'm gonna end her here. Thanks everyone for joining in, and we will catch you this time next week. We do probably have another one on B3L, 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Nice.
It's typical. We'll see how everyone's doing, health wise, etc. That's always the challenge. But yeah, uh, expect us then. Otherwise, Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, we'll run it back and see where the market's at. Hopefully we get a pivot off of today.
Yeah.
Holding my breath for that one. But otherwise, we will see you then.
Yes, sir. See you, Roats.